Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Dr. K.S. Academy. My name is Engineer Rahman Ali Khan. Let's start the third lecture of Building Construction Engineering. The outline of this lecture are to define foundation and foundation bed. Then we will define its types, purpose, and on which parameter the selection of foundation can be made. Then we will define foundation style, its types. Then we will briefly discuss subsoil investigation, its purposes, and different method of soil investigation. Let's discuss the concept of foundation. The structure such as piers and walls is subjected to the load of floors and roofs, furniture, wind and other. And then the load of the walls and piers are transmitted to the soil on which it rests. The load thus acting on the soil is to be distributed over a large area so as to bring the intensity of the loading with the shape-bearing capacity of the soil. To meet such a requirement, we provide a structure with an artificial arrangement in the form of concrete block and bed at the base below the ground level, which act as a foundation of the structure. So we can simply define the foundation as it is the interface between the superstructure and soil, and the function of the foundation is to transmit the load of the structure to the soil, and the bed on which the foundation is rest is known as foundation bed. There are two types of foundation: shallow foundation, deep foundation. You can see in the figure shallow foundation. The depth from the ground to the base of the foundation is known as embedded depth, and this is the width of the foundation. So shallow foundation are that foundation in which the embedded depth should be equal or less than the width of the foundation. Or we can say that the depth to width ratio should be less than 1. Deep foundation. Deep foundation are that type of foundation in which the length to width ratio should be greater or equal to 4. Purpose of foundation. So in all engineering structure, we provided foundation at the base level to get the following properties: to distribute the load of the structure over a large area. The second one is to increase the stability of the structure and to increase its lateral stability of the structure and to prevent unequal settlement, to prevent the lateral movement of the supporting material. So these are the purposes of foundation. Selection of foundation. Now let's discuss the parameter on the basis of which the foundation type is selected. So we have to select foundation according to the type of buildings, the type and intensity of the load, nature of soil, the bearing capacity of soil, and we must consider the economy as well. Foundation soil. We can simply define the soil as the disintegration of rock, or we can say that the unconsolidated mineral material of earth crust is known as soil. Types of soil. So there are different types of soil such as gravel and shingle. Gravel and shingle, this type of soil consists of particles of coarse material resulting from the disintegration of rock. And the gravel and shingle provide a good foundation bed and is suitable for foundation of all type of structure. The second one is sand. It consists of angular, irregular or rounded grains of silica having grain size varying from 0.075 mm to 2 mm. Coarse sands provide a good foundation bed. Number third, silt and clay. Silt. It is a finer variety of soil having grain size varying from 0.002 mm to 0.06 mm. Silt is not considered as a good foundation material. Clay. It is composed of microscopic and submicroscopic particles of weathering rock, and its size should be less than 0.002 mm. This type of soil should be carefully studied before providing foundation. Alluvial soil. This is the transported soil which is carried away by force of water. This type of soil is also suitable as a foundation, wet or light structure. Black cotton soil. This type of soil is inorganic in nature and it is one of the rawest foundation soil available in the country. It is also called peat soil, and black cotton soil is not suitable for foundation. It is undesirable. Reclaimed soil. This is also known as made-up soil. And this type of soil consists of ballast or brickbats, ashes, refuses, old iron pieces, etc., used for filling the low-lying areas. This type of soil is also not suitable for foundation. According to Building Code of Pakistan, the foundation soil can be of the following type. So best soil or hard rock are denoted by soil type SA, and the rock is denoted by SB. Very dense soil or soft rock are denoted by soil type SC. The steppe soil is denoted by SD, and soft soil is denoted by SE, and soil requires specific evaluation is denoted by SF. Subsoil investigation. So subsoil investigation is also called soil exploration, and this we investigate the soil in the field or get the sample in the field and investigate the soil in the laboratory for the purpose to get the necessary data to design and construct a safe and economical foundation. So it is a well-known fact that the failure of most buildings and other structures are occurred due to the failure of a foundation. So that's why we do the subsoil investigation to design a safe and economical foundation. Now we'll discuss why we do the soil investigation. So we do the soil investigation to get to find the nature of the soil, to know the thickness and variation and composition of soil strata with depth, to find the seasonal variation in ground water table at and its effect, to know the depth and composition of the rocky base expected to support the foundation, and to find the engineering properties of the soil. Now let's discuss the different methods of soil investigation. So there are different methods of the soil investigation such as general inspection, test bed method, probing method, boring method. General inspection. So in this method of the subsoil investigation, the study of all neighboring quarries made in the nearby areas for construction purposes and of existing structure along their foundation is made. So the study of strata exposed to view in the old trial pits, unlined wells in that area may reveal the nature of soil at different depths. So in general inspection, we collected the following information: the nature of the ground, whether the ground is soft, hard, or waterlogged; types of soil, behavior of ground, stability of the ground. Test pit method. In this method of subsoil investigation, we excavated a square pit of dimension 1.5 meter, 1.5 meter, and the depth should not be greater than 3 meter. So in this at depth we investigate or inspect the strata, and this method is used only for that type of foundation having depth should not be greater than 3 meter, because the excavation of test pit is comparatively costly. Pits are usually excavated below the level of water. Probing method. In this method of subsoil investigation, A steel rod with a pointed end is driven in the ground until a hard stratum is met. Or sometimes we use a hollow tube instead of steel rod. The hollow tube have a silt in the bottom end. In this method, we driven the steel rod or hollow tube in the ground, and at interval we driven out the steel rod or hollow tube, and a rough idea about the nature of soil we get from the inspection or examine the soil which we get in the pointed end of the steel rod or in the silt of hollow tube. So this method is suitable at a sites where the soil is soft like clay, gravel, and sand. With the help of this method, it is only possible to examine the ground for a maximum depth of 3 meters. Boring method. So in this method of subsoil investigation, we do the boring of the ground in order to take the sample of soil for investigation. So there are different methods of boring such as auger boring, wash boring, percussion boring, core drilling, auger boring. And this method of the subsoil investigation or boring methods, we use different type of augers such as post hole auger, screw auger. So in this we erect the auger vertically, and by rotating the handle of auger, the auger is driven into the ground. And after some penetration, we driven out the auger and get the sample for investigation. This type of boring method is best suitable for ordinary buildings to be erected in clay or sandy soil. This can be conveniently used for soil penetration up to 15-meter depth. But this method is not adapted for deeper holes or ground where gravel, boulders, or compact material is present. Wash boring. In this method of the boring of soil, a casing pipe is driven into the ground and the material inside the casing is washed out and brought to the surface for investigation. So this type of boring can be conveniently used for test boring over 3 meters in depth and soft to shape cohesive soil and point sand. Percussion boring. In this method of the boring, the substrata is broken by means of the repeated blows of hammer, bits, or chisel. Due to this, the particle is divided or converted into point particle, and then by pouring water into the borehole, the particle converted to slurry. Then we remove the slurry and dry for the inspection or examination. So this method is not suitable for loose and clay soil. This is used for rock and soil having boulders. Drilling. In this method, we made a hole by rotating a hollow tube having a cutting bit or edge at its bottom. You can see in the magnified view the hollow tube having a drilling bit at or a cutting bit at its bottom. By rotating this, we made a hole which form a annular cut in the center of the soil. Annular cut means a circular or ring-shaped cut. So core drilling is suitable for hard rock. Thank you for hearing me. If you have any question, you can ask and comment.